Now you're going to go, oh, the irony of a fat guy talking about a food crisis. I can always predict what people are thinking and what they're saying. It's like, oh, is he grabbing eggs, right? Here's some regular eggs that I've been buying for years. I think Kroger's gets them from the same place. I know they come from chickens that are basically in a little place like this, which is not good for the poor chickens. By the way, I grew up hatching out a lot of eggs. I've hatched at least like 200 chicken eggs, maybe 50 quail. I've hatched out ducks and one other bird I won't mention. I've got the incubator in the basement. My farmer doctor, who moved just about an hour and 10 minutes south of me, that's Dr. Michelle Moorholt. She's getting the incubator. It's called a hoverbaiter incubator, and I learned all the tips and tricks on hatching out eggs and the humidity of the eggs. Not only you have to turn them, you actually have to rotate them inside out on the incubator. So I actually know a lot about hatching out eggs, and I'd actually like to do that again, but she's getting my incubator. If I ever move to my cabin or the farm, you of course need to take care of the chicks every day, the hens. Now let's crack open a normal egg here. And I know chickens are fed a different thing. It depends on the farm. Here's like a regular orangish yellow egg. It's not high in nutrients. So I remember the duck eggs and whatnot. Depends on what they eat. Obviously so, as far as the yolk looking. There we go. Now, I got these the other day, just like 2 days ago. I did this in live stream because everybody didn't believe me. The yolk on these are like extremely yellowish green, and I'll actually talk about that in a second. Everybody's talking about the egg emergency. So we got this one over here. Let me crack open this little sucker. Yeah, and that is nasty looking. Let me stick the spare egg there. It is yellowish green. I don't know if you can see that. Let me try to hold it up to the camera, kind of sort of. There's this yellowish green egg over here. It is. I had two of these. I fixed some English muffins and toasted them up, and then I put some guacamole on it, and then the fried egg on top, and I had two of these, and they're atrocious. They're not. I know what a rotten egg or a bad egg is. They're not bad eggs. It's very pale. It's actually a yellowish greenish color. It's actually quite hideous. I'm actually going to throw those eggs away. There is a food emergency. Yeah, I know, the irony of a fat guy talking about a food emergency. Go ahead and say it. I know what everybody's thinking. You can always read people's mind on that. It's like, you need to have a food emergency yourself. That way you won't be so fat. See? I caught you before you could comment on it. Egg prices right now are insane. Right now here, the cheap eggs are about $5.25 a dozen. There are a couple of things that people are saying they're both lies. One of them is a partial truth, and so it thence appears to be superficially accurate. And I do know that older birds basically almost don't lay eggs at all. I mean, I know that fact. I know that birds lay much fewer eggs in the wintertime. I'm blatantly obvious to that. The two excuses are avian flu, which is 95% a lie, but 5% the truth, which is really interesting, because stupid people get caught in binaries, like, well, it's avian flu, you know? Yeah, they diddle in a lot of birds, and that's, yeah, superficially, I can see how you think that's accurate. Well, it is accurate. I saw it on the news. I'll talk about truth that in just a second. The other one is inflation. Of course, all food is up. However, egg prices are astronomically up. It's reported somewhere around the United States that 57 plus million chickens were killed. In other words, you got a huge industrial farm for chickens and or eggs, that if one or two birds test positive, they have to kill them all. I mean, those reports are out there everywhere. That's undeniable. It's like, oh, we got 3 birds down with it. Oh, well, we need to kill all 10,000 of them, for example. That's really rather horrific. They should isolate them. They say, well, just for due caution, we need to kill them all. So superficially, that's accurate, but it's still 95% a lie. That's not why there's an issue. And there is an underlying food emergency. I'll get to that in a second here towards the video. I'd like to hear from you, too. One of the productive, great things about being on social media is that people send me links to things, and of course I can suss things out very, very quickly. I'm really good at that. It's like, you know, this is just this is just nonsense, right? There's some truth to this. There are empirical evidences and facts for this. That reading the comments, that you can tell me. I'm sure Ginger Spice, as I call her Utah Spice, excuse me. She has a bunch of chicks. She's in Utah. She's a person that I know. She'll comment on this because she has chickens. But hearing from everybody and reading the comments, and other people I notice, of course, read comments. That way we can all give accurate, constructive information, because the news are nothing but a bunch of bold-faced liars. But this avian flu explanation is, once again, basically 95% a lie. It's like, well, you got a couple birds with avian flu, but you end up saying that you needed to, say you got 10,000 birds, hens, laying hens, in an industrial, we 3 of them came down with avian flu, so we had to off all 10,000. I mean, this is ridiculous. So over 57 million of them were killed. That doesn't mean 57 million had avian flu, so that makes it a 95% lie. This all, of course, goes to starving people and causing a food crisis. I notice everywhere I go here in Kentucky, I don't know where it is where you're at, there's a limit of 2 packages per eggs, the most places that I go. Chicken farmers are noticing, and I've been watching them, genuine chicken farmers. There's a huge problem with their hens not laying eggs, and it appears to be a feed issue. I've watched several people that have chickens, and they've switched from the Purina feed, or another feed, I can't remember the name of it, to goat feed, and their hens started laying eggs again. There's tons of videos out there of real chicken farmers out there saying this is true, that their hens have not laid for nearly a year, essentially not laid. The switching from the Purina food to goat food. I don't know how Purina is involved in this, but a lot of these people that are having issues have been feeding their chickens Purina. As a chicken farmer of 40 years named Connor Blackman, who said that his chickens are not older, and it's not because it's wintertime. He had this issue in the middle of summertime, and he switched food, and everything has been corrected on that front. Everything as far as controlling people is the pyramid. The tip of the pyramid is fear. Yeah. Right underneath that pyramid is food, water, and energy. So it's work is really the basis of all of that. How you can have income. Affecting everybody's income, that's the base of the pyramid. The tip of the pyramid is fear, and then it's food, water, and energy, and the base of it is your job, i.e. your income. And all the evil entities in the world, this is not conspiratorial, this is hardcore fact. Every one of these things has been affected. There's been tons of fear-mongering. Both of my friends were offed in the hospital. They're 6 feet under now. The hospital did them in. That's not my opinion, belief, or feeling. It's a hardcore fact. When Goebbels was interrogated at the Nuremberg trials, like, how did you get the German people to do this? Fear. You get people to be in fear of their life, and they'll basically do anything. It was the day before yesterday, 2 of these over easy. This yellowish, greenish yolk you can see right here. Those are trash. They taste. They're not rotten. I know what a bad egg tastes like, for goodness sakes. It's off. I know that if you feed chickens, for example, cornmeal, wheat, or barley, or a few other things, you can actually get light-colored, very light yellowish, greenish yolks like that. That is greenish. I don't know if it comes across to you, but it is. Anyway, Connor Blackman switched his feed, and everything was fixed. But yeah, we have this fear, food, water, and energy, and then right at the base of it there, the inflation where everybody, because if your money is sitting in your own safe, for example, it's being stolen at a good clip. It's like, well, I still got the money, I haven't opened up my safe. It's still being stolen because it doesn't have the purchasing power that it didn't have, and it gets worse and worse and worse and worse. And so the best experts are saying cash is trash, and they are right. If this is pure speculation on my part, but if I were a pure government, pure evil government entity, and I wanted to affect a lot of stuff, I would actually spike animal feeds, which makes its way into human beings. Here's something that's not speculative. I've talked to farmers, I've talked to you guys in live stream, people that are small-time farmers. Here's what's going on. Feed and fertilizer have absolutely gone through the roof. They've skyrocketed. Of course, so have eggs. Radically so. If you think things have gotten bad right now, I hope you've been following the fertilizer and feed issues. Chicken feed has gone up a minimum of basically, and that's a lot of people, the average is doubled in price. Some's a lot higher, some is less. If you've been following the feed and fertilizer, things are going to get drastically worse. Everybody's broke right now. Is that a whole cloth statement that applies to everybody? No. However, it is generally extremely accurate. Everybody is. I've asked a lot of people. I've asked a lot of you. Live stream. Read every comment. I read every comment. Everybody's broke. So the base of the pyramid here, where everybody is suffering under extreme inflation, their jobs are being destroyed. It's hard to make ends meet. Did you know? Was it 70 or 80% of Americans can't afford a $500 emergency? Say their car breaks, $1,000 or whatever broke on it. Oh, I can't afford it. I need to go into debt. If people are maxing out their credit cards, and most people are maxed over the past 2.5+ years. Most people's credit cards are maxed. So the base of the pyramid is being taken well care of. The tip of the pyramid, fear, has been played upon hardcore. But they need another thing to feed on the fear. It's been the coof for the past 2 years. The next thing, of course, is going to be something else. Cyber attack. That's pure speculation. But that's what they were talking about at Davos in the Schweiz in Switzerland. Oh, yeah, it's going to be a world-changing cyber attack, and everything's going to crash. We're all going to go back to the Stone Age. And, oh, my God, everybody's going to be running around like Chicken Little and fear. Fear, tip of the pyramid. They got taken care of the base really well. Everybody's broke, living on their credit cards. They're working hard on the tip of the pyramid, which is fear. And right in the middle of the meat of the pyramid is food, water, and energy. I'm energy independent if I have to be. I'm food independent if I have to be. I have my own spring with water gushing out of it. It's a cave with fresh spring water. So I have all of that taken care of. I know how to grow food. The first thing, if I have to move up there, will be a chicken coop. I've had an enormous amount of people telling me they're going to have a chicken coop. My doctor, who moved from Utah to Kentucky, she's happy as hell. And she's going to get my incubator, my egg incubator, which I'm happy to give it to her. She's a great doctor, Dr. Eva Michelle Moorholt. You tell me. I'd like to hear your comments on this. There is an egg emergency, but it's a lie. It's like the chip shortage. This avian flu excuse is no different than the chip shortage. I've talked to car dealership. They have not a single. Would never buy a new car, but they don't have a single new car to sell. Chip shortage, supply chain, total bunk. It's a lie. Superficially, it's accurate. So you got 5% of accuracy, but 95% of it's a stinking lie. So people only see the 5% of it. Just like this nonsense. Why is there an egg shortage? Eggs are so high. It's not inflation, which, all food is up. What's avian flu? All these birds have been destroyed. Yes, they have. But that's only 5% accuracy, roughly. I killed them all just because a couple of them had avian, if they had avian at all. This is all fear. It's lies. You should have a mind like a steel trap. Most people don't. They believe what the media and the government tells them, and that is sick, 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 and sick. Contradict me all you like, but you're not going to prove me wrong. What's avian flu? It's right there. It's all over the internet. Oh yeah, they say. You kill 99% of the birds because one of them might, 1% of them, or less than 1% actually. Oh, that's the reason why eggs are so high and food is, We all know that they've destroyed energy. Energy prices have spiked. They don't want you to have a gas stove anymore. Energy, we all know how they're trying to destroy everybody's ability to pay for energy. They're wrecking the food. The inflation is through the roof. They're wrecking the water. They already have been for decades. They've destroyed everybody's ability to have income by wrecking their jobs and raising inflation. And they've gone full tilt, crotch out on the tip of the pyramid, which is fear. So please remember this pyramid that these people are using to control. Try to anyway. I will not comply. Trying to control you and me. It's fear, food, water, energy, and then inflation and wrecking your job. If I'm lying, I'm dying. Tell me what you think. I read every comment, even the mean ones. Lux Veritas. The after tomorrow is February. Seems odd. Feels like I've been stuck in January forever. This egg is trash. I'm going to throw all these eggs that have that yellow-green yolk, and it's going to go in the trash. That's garbage. I can't explain the taste to you. It's not a rotten taste. You can see it there. It's yellow-green. Yeah, it's right over here. Yellow-green. Now, I wonder if that was 3D printed in a lab. No. It's not funny, actually. Have a good one. Those eggs suck.